everybody. Welcome to tonight's episode of the Bar20 Show, a player-hater gaming production where myself, Mr. Brandon Ross, and these lovely friends of mine you see all around me, we come together over a digital tabletop to play Dungeons & Dragons. Tonight we're going to see what kind of shenanigans the wild cards get up to. But first, we're going to knock out some couple real quick announcements. Then I want to dig right into this and get the most out of this episode because I have a few things bulleted on my little plan here. We'll see if the party has the same thought process. Because if you're a DM, you know those two things never line up.
Ever.
Especially with us.
Yeah. So real quick, my lovely social media team, Miss Annie and Miss Kelly, what announcements do you have tonight?
Go ahead, Kelly.
Of course. Okay, like
One of these days, I'm just going to mute Kelly and be like, all right, Annie, what do you got?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
One
I
day,
pop
not today.
up in the back, just like right
Oh
behind
my
her.
gosh.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
like every week, go join our social media platforms. We put out a lot of our news, a lot of our reminders, our schedule. We ask random questions. We say help. Brandon has us tied to our desk. We can't go anywhere. Please send the police, stuff like that. Yeah, currently
Blink twice if you're posting of your own accord.
Yes. Anyways, we are currently working towards our first anniversary that's coming up soon in April. So we've got a lot of things that are going to be happening and going on and starting and just a bunch of fun stuff. And during one of the fun things that we will be doing is our AMA. So make sure to get your questions in there. You can very easily do that in our Discord because we have a nice little place for it and everything. It says AMA questions. Easy enough. We all want to know what Outlander things mean. So, yeah. Anyways, we have just been informed that besides the Dungeon Master's Guide that will be given away in the bundle, we have metal dice that will be given away as well if we reach 200 followers. We are currently at 135. That means we only need 65. I think we could get that done. So if you love what we do here, you like seeing the shenanigans we get into, you like the laughs we share, the cries we share, the punches, all that stuff, just give us a like, give us a follow, check us out. All right, Andy, say something so you could actually say you said something.
Are we going to talk about that one thing, or are we going to wait for next week?
Yeah,
You
Brandon.
can't do that
What
to him.
one thing are you teasing?
Yeah.
Oh,
You can't just drop a tease
The one
in.
thing that we talked
okay.
about teasing.
So yeah, there is a tease.
I told you it was up to you. It's in your
Yeah.
hands.
Well,
I
I don't
told
think
you
Kelly and I
what was
actually
happening. I
decided.
gave you a date,
Yeah.
and I just
All
said,
right.
I don't
figure it
think
out.
we decided.
Besides teasing the metal dice, I will be teasing that with New Year's, new things happen all the time to the point that you say, "Who dis?" And that's all I'm gonna say.
Oh man, I'm excited.
It's going to be awesome.
Oh yeah,
I'll have something to do on Mondays now.
you're teasing too much. You're teasing too much.
All right. Does anybody else at the table have anything they want to put out there before we move on?
No.
Okay. Well, before we get too headed into it, I'll let y'all know that if you want to use your channel points to give some help dice to this lovely table, I'm sure some of them could use it. Oh, who needs some? What we got going on around here? Is everybody
Zero
good?
again.
You have zero
Of course
again?
you do.
I have zero
Of course you
again.
do.
All right, someone
I have
help.
two.
He needs somebody. Help. Not just
Yep.
anybody. Help. A D4, please.
Yeah, Kelvin's a zero again too.
You're a 0-2? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I busted through 3 of them last week.
Oh my
I
gosh.
used only one, so I need one.
Okay.
Bam! Yeet coming through. like a
Strong.
champ. Like a
Look
champ.
at that man doing the work.
Doing the
know.
work. All right,
See,
well,
he
if that's it,
He
I'll let
carries
the help dice
fire
continue
that carries the wild cards.
to roll in as I push us into our recap. Last week, we'll go with a couple of weeks worth of recap just to help give some context here. The party had found themselves upon the capital of Matol in the desert region to the south where they had been previously traveling. Moving along, following some leads, fighting some dangerous enemies, and protecting a good merchant friend of theirs. A particular white dragonborn. They were able to get to the city mostly safely with his help, and along with the newest addition to the party and table, Mr. Isa Sterling, suggesting that events that had happened during a ritual in Greca were, of course, beyond the norm, and claimed to know a source and perhaps a fix. But this would be in Matol. Once they arrived, they quickly made contact with one of the 3 main families that runs this region. Mainly the capital. Mostly retainers are used to handle the rest of the region. But here in the capital, they met with a Lady Vivian. Unsure of what to think about what was going on with her and her own agendas, they accepted, loosely, a job to dig into some potential dirt, or at least find some dirt of another house who had been too clean for too long. Pressing into the city proper itself, they attempted to make contact, do some digging around, eventually leading upon the capital's library, to where information was found, lore was discovered and dumped, and then as they came back together, a familiar sensation came to the gut and heart of some of these particular party members. Namely, I believe it was Snow and the siblings. As suddenly, in the middle of the library itself, this small gray marbled orb had apparated and then rapidly expanded to encompass the entirety of the library. A scene familiar to that of Greca. Creature seemingly made of ink and nothing else attacked them. They pushed back against such darkness. When the last one fell, the sphere rapidly collapsed in upon itself around its champion. Tamriel, trying to reach in and grab it, destroy it, whatever mindset he had for that, learned that unfortunately arcane methods do have reactions and took quite a bit of damage to his hand. Thankfully, there was a barbarian nearby who came up and curiously was able to use a rather instantaneous healing magic upon him. A couple of rolls around the table, notice this was a remarkable paladin ability. And that is where we pick up. So, wild cards. The table is yours.
I'm still kind of cradling my arm against, while the bone is set, I am still cradling my my wound to my chest a little bit.
I was already in the motion to actually move over to him, so I would still move over. And even though I see the healing take place, I will still cast Cure Wounds.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
go ahead
I
and
still
roll it.
got plenty to heal.
Oh yeah.
Fire's still like freaking out, like looking at her hands, like, what? What? Is there still a panther there?
I don't believe you've dismissed them yet.
Yes,
Miss
I was
Snow?
going to ask
So she's
because
just
I
like
didn't
looking at the panthers.
I didn't
help
get
me.
to get around to it from the last episode, but
Okay.
from here, would I be able to look past Kelvin and see that my Panther's quarry over here is gone?
Yes, you would be able to see it.
Then they would all drop. All 8 of them.
Where'd
Okay.
the panther go?
Oh, well, 7 of them, they're left.
You watch as they
Panther
just
now.
kind of seem to very quickly turn to ash, and then that ash turns into nothingness over a span
I
of
need
just a
that
few
panther
seconds.
to answer my questions. Where'd the
He's
panther go?
He's gone.
He's gone.
Nobody
You
answers
heal
my
for
question.
20.
20?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Cinder gets to stay, so
Hey,
she
can we
will
turn
come
off the
over
light?
here as well.
Cinder does get to stay.
Is there anyone else that got hurt?
I don't think anybody else took any a great amount of damage.
Did this person being over here just die? Or X'd out?
You can't see over there.
Oh, yeah, there's a chair in the way.
And I see over there.
Stupid chair.
At this point, you can make a perception check.
Okay. Now that my hand is not like throbbing in agony.
It's saying a little better. You're beginning to stand up and kind of taking the scope around you, but it's still
No, it still hurts.
still hurting. Not as bad, but it's just enough to where it's like you're just really mulling your head. I'm better than
Dumb.
this. I should have known better than to try and grab at some kind of imploding arcane method. Kind of inwardly scolding yourself.
The vanity got to him.
I would say at this point, Cathalia and Pyre. Actually, no, everybody, just give me a perception check. Let's see what we get. Except for you, Tam.
You've got mine. Yeah.
Yours is decided.
Ooh, Pyre.
Woo! Decent rolls all around. Pyre rocking out that natural 20.
Wow.
Nicely
Nice.
done.
I need to know. What do I see?
Well, I'm going to go to kind of order of operations here because I don't want to give anything away. Kelvin, from where you're at, go ahead and position yourself. Actually, I'm not going to pull up the battle map for stream. We're going to keep this theater of the mind. Kelvin, as you come over to Tam to help him heal, you kind of notice that as you're looking down a bit, because he's probably still hunched over or even kneeling, as you look down, you can see there seems to be some kind of darkened spots amongst the carpet. But as it gets to the stone itself, it looks like there should be splatters of just tossed around blood or material of liquid. But upon the stone, there is nothing. Upon the carpet, there seems to be some kind of stained remnant. As you kind of look around looking at this, you also, just out of the corner of your eye, you do see what looks to be a shape laying on the ground. And just as you go to look, you see Pyre kind of... I don't know what reaction she would give, so I'll let you do that after I describe it. But you do kind of look around, you see across the way there, looks to be a humanoid shape wearing the typical clothing of the library in this bit of a mangled mess on the floor.
There's just all kinds of confused.
And that is okay.
This is the reason why I don't come to libraries. I didn't get anything answered and I got more questions.
Worse, you could have had your hand crushed.
You didn't have to grab it.
Well, you know,
You're right, I didn't have to grab it, but again, I thought something was trying to escape. We live and learn. Just like we learned that Pyre has so much more power than she realizes. You are amazing, you know that, right?
I don't even know what I did.
You saved my hand.
I still don't know what I did.
Whatever it was divine.
You did good.
Why would I have divine stuff coming out of my hands?
Maybe Drusara seen fit to give you some more juice.
Yeah. You do have a bond with him.
I mean, little to nothing about this guy other than the books tell me and what everybody else tells me. So maybe.
I mean, look at what you did. You healed. So now you have the power to giveth and the power to taketh away.
Yeah.
Oh God, do I have to start calling my hands thoughts and prayers?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Turn you into
Wait a
a
minute.
monk.
And then Pyre all of a sudden, she thinks us. She's like, "Wait a minute, did you guys hear what they said to me? Them talking?
Oh, you
Did
mean
you guys heard
gurgle,
them, right?"
gurgle, garble, garble? Yeah, I got that.
No, he said, and Pyre says a primordial descendants. You guys heard that, right?
We just
Why
heard.
are you
I was
repeating
all the
what I
way up
just said?
there, so no.
He said
It's a good impersonation of their
He's-
gargle, though.
Cathalia, did
means-
you pick up Primordial?
No, I swapped it because somebody gave me a hard time about it,
Okay.
and I took Sylvan instead.
no. So
Okay.
he said descendant to me. She says this in common.
Okay.
The sun.
One of them said something to
descendant of
Isa
what?
as well.
Pyre, give me a history check.
Kind of.
You
Looks
got
over
this.
You are pushing your luck here.
You got this. Natural 19.
18? Yeah.
Mhm.
You recall
Called it.
it wasn't, they didn't say descendant. They said
Okay.
descendants. Plural.
So they said it to Isa too. Descendants. Where's Isa at?
Looks like he's currently just kind of around a corner, probably recovering.
He's probably hiding.
He's
Pyre.
leaned up against a bookshelf, probably going over his wounds.
You see Isa's actually writing on that extra slip of paper real quick, just jotting down a note really angrily and folding it up.
Pyre go over to Isa. And it's like, did they talk to you too?
Yeah. For a moment.
Well, yeah, I mean, that thing only said one thing to me.
Well, I mean, I don't understand it personally.
I'm like, don't understand just somebody coming up saying descendants.
Well, Isa stops himself before he speaks. I know you know what the word means, so it's got to be somebody in your lineage.
And yours, apparently.
Well, there's nothing special about mine.
There's nothing
I think
special
the
about mine
oil
either.
monsters beg to differ, guys.
We'll figure it out, though.
They will now be known as boil monsters.
How are you doing? Are you wounded?
I'm okay, just a little rest and I'm fine.
How about the rest of you?
Curiosity, is that robot Skynet watching thing still in the area?
I would say with everyone's perception, it's all a question. I forgot to mention this, but we'll say about this point, as Snow thinks of that, you look around and you do see one probably about 10, 20 feet away from you on the ground, inert.
Is
Nobody
everybody
touch it.
Is everybody okay? Like Aspire looks around at the people.
Go take a look.
And then she looks at that little thing that she scratch in the floor that she made with the sword. It's like, I'm gonna have to pay for that, aren't I? God damn it.
It'll be
Well,
all right.
we saved the library, so maybe not.
Nobody say anything.
We
Unless they have
saved the
proof.
library.
Unless
We
they
can
have
move
proof.
a rug.
Just blame it on their cat problem that apparently this library is infected with giant cats.
Snow just glares at him.
It kind of come out of nowhere.
So Pyre kind of, I guess, goes around with everybody to see if everybody's okay.
As you're looking around, for the most part, your party probably seems well.
Well,
What about
there-
the other people?
yeah, like
Yeah.
the people
Oh,
that
them.
were in the library. Yeah, that's it.
That's
My
who we were
apologies.
talking about.
Yes.
As you're looking around, you begin to spend a few minutes. You do find 2 individuals that seem to have been left to waste in the path of these creatures' wrath. As you begin to look around, you do hear a noise coming from the entryway door as it boom is just slung open, and you see what looks to be about 3 individuals rush in, weapons drawn, one holding this long ornate staff, all of them particularly similarly dressed in colors of mostly like golds and blues. And they rush in, looking around. One has their staff just kind of in front of them. You see this light emanating from it, just looking around. And you can see
just
one
throws her hands up. It's just
one coming
like-
forward with what looks to be this shield and a short sword. Kind of assessing real quick before he locks eyes with the group. Looks around just a few more seconds. You see him sheathe the short sword. Shink.
Snow's gonna point to whatever was left on the carpets and be like, "That's what you're looking for."
Definitely not me. I didn't do
We
anything, guys.
defended ourselves.
I
I'll
swear.
like put Pyre's hands
Isa.
down.
Isa is slowly
It's a habit. Leave me
blinking
alone.
behind everybody, kind of hiding out behind the group.
Okay, are you hiding?
Not hiding, he's just not making himself be a known presence.
Would I pick up on that?
Do you want a stealth check, or you just want to slink to the back?
Nah, he just, as everybody kind of moves forward, he kind of puts himself in Kelvin's shadow and tends to hang out there. And
Well, if you're
I would
trying
say-
to hide, that's why I'm asking, because we can step forward and make ourselves
I would
look
say,
more
Tam, make an insight check for
brought
me,
in. Insight, you said?
please.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Let's see how bad we fucked that one up. 18.
18. You have kind of understood the kind of general vibe Isa has in this capital city as he begins to kind of, just gonna go back this way.
Homer Simpson into the hedge.
Essentially, yeah, but the
Yeah.
hedge is the party. He just.
I will try and pull. I will kind of halfway nudge Kelvin and Snow forward as kind of some of our more exotic and attention-getting friends kind of forward. And since
Okay.
Kelvin is the one that usually does the talking for us, I'm going to kind of motion for us to kind of step forward just a little bit. We should tell them what happened.
I was just looking over my notes
Oh,
real
yeah.
quick. You watch as so the group before you definitely looks like they are part of the city guard. You haven't seen these kinds of colors shown on the city guard. Mostly the guard seems to wear more neutral colors of like browns and tans. They actually seem to be probably either of rank or of notoriety, as the one with the long wooden staff kind of begins to slowly fan away, and what you can take as the leader, as he was the first to approach you, kind of looks over his shoulder. Take a look around, see what you can find.
Rank or family? Because you did note that certain families, and I'm asking this of you, not I'm not saying it to the character.
Let's say...
Because you did
intelligence check.
you did say, I was gonna say you did talk about certain colors for certain families. 23.
23. I would say with that role and your knowledge of kind of how political structure works, you doubt these are straight up bought and paid for personal mercenaries, but you would imagine that with enough influence, there's probably certain squadrons or sections of the guard dedicated to guarding certain areas. These areas probably belong to the families they're assigned to. But the leader comes up to all of you. It's just kind of a plain looking individual, a little older, human male, kind of this black short hair, very fine goatee with this thin chin strap beard that seems to supplement it. But uncharacteristically, it looks like that upon his face, there is these oddly well-healed scars. I would say, let me see here, Kelvin, Cathalia, Snow, and Isa, give me Arcana checks.
That's a solid 5 there, boss.
Yep. I would say Cathalia and Snow, with your innate abilities to cast healing magic and how you've seen your wounds heal, especially Snow, you would pick up on this individual has seen their share, for sure. You can tell that these scars are healed over, wounded, healed over again. Wounded, healed over again. It's almost wondering, is he alive only because of the magic? It's definitely to that point to where it's like, how much has he been healed? How much is his skin naturally regenerated versus arcanely influenced? Not to say he's unattractive or just grizzled, but it's odd to see this much. Pretty much
Is it
looks
the
to be,
same spot over and over and over again?
it is
Or is it like they're in the
close locations.
same area?
I would
Okay.
say it is close locations. I'd say for our party here, they'll be able to tell that it is mostly locations where you would want to strike a lethal blow.
Okay.
What was that, Isa?
Sorry about that. That was a 20 on that roll. Sorry, I had to shut down all of my windows real quick.
Yeah, it didn't pop
okay.
up. I saw
pick
it,
up
but
on
it
that
didn't
as
pop
well.
up.
Okay.
He begins to approach the party. My name is Oland. I oversee the guards of this area. We heard reports there was a sphere of arcane influence over the library. We came to check it out. What?
Did you
And he
say
kind of-
Oland?
Yes, Olond. And he
Thank
kind of
you.
motions to the body. What happened here? And you
Well,
begin. And
you
you see as
already
he begins
seen-
to look over the party, and you can begin to tell he's eyeing all of you up and down.
You already
were
have more
here.
knowledge about this than we do.
We were here just doing some research when a sphere of energy burst into this place. If anything, we were lucky that we were actually able to we were here so that we could prevent it from being worse.
I don't say that I've ever met any of you in my streets. Where are all of you from?
I originate from the rolling forests of Thavia.
Up north, I
My
see.
brother and I are from Thavia. And I'll point to Kelvin.
Brother?
It's a long story.
That
He's
is
adopted.
Quite a long story. That makes much more sense. You three?
The mountains of Zotars.
I've heard. Quite a long travel for you. And he looks you up and down.
I'm certain you are aware of Greca and the ritual that happens at the Green Line.
Yeah, with that roll, he sure is. Yes, I've heard of it. I've never witnessed it, but we do notice around this time of year, we do have quite the influx of the druidic nature coming through. It's very nice to meet you. Thank you. Well, I would say thank you for keeping the Green Line erect, but I'm uncertain how I feel about it. But it is a marvel.
Not sure.
That is for certain.
Not certain the line really does much for your side, unfortunately.
That is okay. We are happy to be within our borders.
That is fair.
He looks to Pyre. And you?
Wander originally in Raitul for a little bit, fighting in the Colosseum.
Ah, I've heard of this, what did they call it? The
Iron. The Iron Colosseum.
The Iron Colosseum. I thought it was steel something.
Yeah, it's iron.
Well, what brings a gladiator of your stature down here then?
Looking for knowledge in this library. As I said, I'm a wanderer, and I just happen to be wandering this way.
He kind of looks over the party. And you in the back there. He looks to Isa.
Did you get my message there, good sir?
No, it did not come through.
Oh, okay.
Let me double check. I don't have a notification for it.
Oh, I sent it to you in the Roll20.
Oh, well, let me scroll back up. I never got it.
Okay.
Okay. That's what he sees.
All right. I am from all over. I've spent many a time here.
Okay. Well then.
And I apologize, shouldn't you fully introduce yourself before questioning us? I mean, you did come in here, weapons drawn. I know you said your name, but if I'm not mistaken, are you not of the houses?
No, I am not of the houses. I am of the guard. We're just assigned to a particular area. It's alright. I wouldn't expect outsiders to understand our cultures.
Ah, no. Your cultures are far beyond some of us.
Well, anything else you can tell me about what happened here? As he begins to you see as he walks over and begins to kind of crouch down to the stained bit of carpet.
Everything got dark, and then we were attacked.
And we defended ourselves.
What were you attacked by?
We're
By
not-
this. And Isa will pull out his jar.
There were these creatures that were covered in
Eris!
an oily, viscous liquid.
I don't think they were covered so much as made by.
You hear him call out this name, and the elven female with the large kind of staff begins to make her way over. Yes. These individuals seem to have taken something of what attacked here. Could you give it a check? Of course, of course. And she approaches you, Isa. Do you mind if I... And she'll reach her hand out.
I do. I believe you're asking a great favor from me. It seems that I have the answer for your questions. So I find it only right that you, being such an honorable guard, would allow us some assistance as well.
I don't know where you come from, but let me instruct you how things work here. Give us what we want, or we put you in cuffs, we take it from you, and then you can rot.
Fire hears that, and she kind of runs over to
It's okay.
Isa a little bit.
It's okay, my friend. Good sir, I do not think you want to be making these threats. Especially in a room full of people. That is not very endearing.
You can see now Isa as he has his eyes begin to train upon you. What's your spell save DC?
Let me check here. 15.
Okay. Again. Outlanders. Hand it over to her so she can inspect it. And we can all go about our day.
As you wish. But that is all that we can do. And Isa will uncap the lid
Okay.
and go to hand it over and just let it tip out. Clumsy me. I apologize.
Let's see if she can catch it quickly enough. Not with that. She goes to grab it and it spills, hits the ground, and immediately soaks into it.
Is it stone or carpet that
where
it falls
you're
on?
standing. Roll a d20. See where it lands. Two. That's an even
Yep.
number. Lands in the stone. She tries to grab it and goes, "Oh, what?" And she watches as it just scatters out and immediately almost the craziest things any of you have seen. All of you watch is it just right into the stone, like it was actually pulled down and through the stone. Moving with the oddest bit of sentience.
Do that in Rosso. I know it dissolved into the ground, but did it have sentience in Rosso?
It seemed to move in accordance with what you've seen before.
Okay.
Perhaps I would say actually, make a history check.
I don't know if I like that.
Can I help her?
How would you assist her in this situation?
Discussing what was going on in the mind. Well, asking her what she's. Never mind. There's not really a way to do it without making it obvious that we've been around this stuff before.
With the 6, seems to have similar qualities as you've seen before. The female elf individual looks down. You see her, she quickly just dives down to the ground and starts kind of patting it carefully. Well, that's definitely odd and unconcerning.
Yeah, the people, things did that too. Whenever we killed, I guess, the head guy, they disappeared.
And both of them look to you, Pyre. So you're saying there was a leader to this?
I guess they didn't announce names or say, "Hey, this is who we are," and I'm
There
the
was
leader,
one that
but
seemed
they're-
stronger and larger than the others.
And
There was
once,
one that when it was defeated, the others disappeared.
yeah.
You watch as Olin kind of crosses arms over each other. He kind of leans back a bit, looking down at the body just not too far away, then looking back over the party. But at this point, you can see the who you heard named Eris. She begins to kind of, excuse me, pushing through the party and going to the carpeted area that seems to have this. At this point now, it's much lighter and almost all the way pulled through. And she just takes out a dagger and starts cutting at the carpet.
Look, if they're cutting up carpets, I ain't paying for that spot in the stone.
And
Pyre whispers to herself.
She rolls it up, and you watch as she just kind of stuffs it into this bag at her side and then closes the flap. That's
It's
the
an
only
empty bag.
evidence we have here. I've never heard or seen anything like this before. Captain? You just see his guy's arms crossed, kind of mulling his thoughts over. No, I have not heard of things either. Where are all of you staying? If we need to find you for more questions, where can we find you?
Something Prince? Well, God, why can I
The
not think of-
foolish something or other.
No, that's the CD bar.
Oh.
Andy,
We're staying at a tavern.
it's something
Run
Prince.
by a dwarf. Pretty sure it was a dwarf.
Yeah, don't worry. There's only, 30 of those around.
Andy, look at the note.
I apologize.
She's give her a minute.
All right. Everyone, roll me a history check.
Oh god. Okay, that I can probably. 24.
All right.
Tam can remember. I can't remember worth a damn, but Tam can.
Apparently, I do remember.
Yeah.
Maybe
It
it
is
depends on
not
the
here.
DC.
I can't
Wow. Have you found your notes yet on it?
Almost. The Princess Ale House.
Yes.
There you go.
I knew it was the
was-
Prince.
it
It's
was
going to give you a
under a
few
Post-it
more
note.
seconds, precious seconds, before I just gave it to you.
It was under a
But-
post-it note.
Cathalia and Tam, both of you are thinking about it. Then you both at the same time, you jinx each other with the name.
Prince's Ale House.
Those two better
Oh.
remember where it was.
I know where that's at.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
Well, as odd as it is, very odd it is. If we have any more questions, we'll get back to you.
We will answer them to the best of our abilities.
Before the elf leaves, I want to tap her on her shoulder and
Mhm.
hold up my hand, casting minor illusion, to make a small image of one of the ooze creatures, the one that attacked.
And you see she kind of looks it over real quick. Interesting. Did it look exactly like this?
This is what attacked us.
And she begins to walk around all the way. You can see her keen vision taking in the memory of this. Very well. Have you? Thank you. And they all begin to gather around this. You see a table that's rather close to the fallen humanoid creature. And about this time, you hear this odd sound, almost like the flickering of some kind of a noise, like
I look at
it
my
just
bow. It's
steadies
like,
out. And all of you kind of see as off in various places where they were probably knocked out of commission, the steel orbs begin to rise once more. And then you hear this voice off in the distance. I think I got it! And you watch as all of them begin to coalesce towards a singular corner off to the side where you can see there looks to be a couple of doors, probably offices.
Huh. Magic, man. Crazy stuff.
But with that, the three individuals with you seem to have begun to focus their attentions more towards their own investigations.
We
turn
never
to the
got a
party
name for that
and
third.
You did not.
guard number 3. I'm just gonna kind of lean with my head and start walking for the door.
Fire's already gone. As soon as the guards weren't paying attention, she's like, "I'm out."
See ya!
Yeah.
Definitely following fire.
I'll
Okay.
tag along with my little
All
short
of you
set.
head out into the... Let me see. You spent a good couple of hours here, but you did get here fairly late morning, if I recall correctly.
Correct.
Sounds about
Yep.
right. So I say it's probably
Yeah.
just past a lunchtime now, and hunger is upon you.
We know a good cart where you can get some food.
No.
Why? So we end up with another dog?
No.
Ah, look, you always have to take in the flavors of a city before you leave it. There's never enough time.
All right, so are
Who's
you
this
holding that
guy?
form?
Oh yeah, Isa's holding
All
that
of you,
form.
now that you have a moment to really look at this, you realize Isa has changed arcanely, and he now has the form of a tiefling.
Surprise, surprise.
If you want to describe your
Kelvin
current
is like, who's this
illusion,
guy?
Short horns that come up and then fork back forwards. Full white-skinned tiefling just standing there.
Kelvin, there is a stranger in your party now.
What's going on?
Fire looks at Kelvin. It's like, it's
The same
Sterling.
clothing, though. It's just still his weapons and everything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's Sterling. He's got a tiefling
You know,
thing.
he's got a tiefling thing, just like his boss.
And let's not talk about family relations while we are still in the proper areas of the city. You know, there are many birds in small cities such as this.
Of course.
So is this what he actually looks like, or is it the other thing?
It's the other thing. He's being a smartass,
Are we
And then-
sure?
and he's not very good at it.
And as Kelvin is like talking, he's probably using his hands. Pyre looks at his hands like, "Do you have something written on your hand?"
Who, Kelvin?
Yes.
He does.
Whose memory is good enough?
No.
Pyre
No.
grabs it and says, "Ask again later."
Kelly, take a D8 inspiration. That is great.
What are you asking later, Kelvin?
I forgot.
Okay.
Knowing Kelvin, he would forget.
Yeah, no, that's in character.
How about we get some lunch?
I remember what
Yeah.
I'm supposed to ask. Kelvin does not.
Rick remembers.
Yeah.
Let's go to anywhere but that cart.
Yeah, that stuff looked pretty horrible.
I will remind
Wait,
you
there's
all
what
of
cart?
the area you are in. is the fancier circle. You are in the oasis, the circle of
Yeah,
Oh,
oasis.
then let's go to the fancy circle Denny's, because that's the good Denny's.
That's where you're at.
Nope, no thank you.
Oh, you act like you've got a choice.
I don't want to go.
If we must, then let us enjoy, for the day is ours.
Yeah, I was kidding. We're just gonna go find a nicer tavern or inn.
Who
You know,
is heading
find
this
a
up?
nicer area. Fuck it, I got it.
Okay, roll an investigation check.
Oh, okay.
Show us the way, fearless leader.
23.
23.
Discussing and talking and going through various kind of understanding the flow of this circle, you are told that the best place to go is just down the street a bit and off to the left. And you begin to get those same kind of instructions further and further around as you are led around to the complete other side of this circle, circling the towering spire in the middle, buildings tall and abound around you, colors here, there, banners, variously well-dressed individuals. And you begin to push into what seems to be the entertainment district or the food known areas, and you are told that the best place to go is the Odium of Tears. As you come upon this place, following the directions given to you by various individuals of the city, kind of some of them looking oddly at you, but well enough, you come along across a large multi-storied building, massive, probably 4 stories high, maybe 5 in some parts, as it begins to kind of almost keep style layer itself towards a middle central area, made mostly of stone, a bit of wood at the top. You can see there is a large multi-doored entrance, multi-double doors, probably 3 or 4 side by side, and across this large elaborate sign reads the Odium of Tears. And then beneath it in Elvish, half of it being Elvish, the other half being common, it states, "You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll enjoy." And then it repeats the same thing in common in the smaller text below it. All of the doors at this time of day are open, and you can see there seems to be people coming up to it, an exchange of currency, and they are let inside. Each of the doors is double guarded by what looks to be probably staffed by whatever this theater or art style location is.
I'm gonna kind of lean back. Sterling, you got any idea what each door does? Is it different? Is it just a spot we pick a door and go in, or do different doors lead to different places in there, or what?
What would I remember about this place? Have I been to this one?
Roll a history check.
Don't suck at it.
Yeah, no, I definitely
8?
sucked at it. That's an 8.
You've heard of this place, and you've heard good things. Unfortunately, due to the nature of your past endeavors here, you've never stepped inside or performed here. You've wanted to.
It's a good place. There's a chance that we could have a good meal. I personally have never been in as to what I do, but, you know, it's an option.
I'm gonna clap him on the shoulder. Thanks for all you do. And I guess I'm going to walk up to a door.
As you walk up, you can see there is 2 humans, decently well dressed, mostly neutral colors, looser clothing. Hello. Would you
Good
be
afternoon.
looking for floor seating, table, balcony?
We're from out of town. What would be the best seats in the house?
He kind of looks you over. You don't say.
Yeah, I know. Clothing's a little heavy.
A
We've got
little
some
bit.
stuff commissioned.
Good.
Yeah.
You'll sweat to death out here.
We're trying not to. We are definitely hungry
As
and
he's
thirsty.
saying that, Pyre like walks up right beside him, just like looking around and everything.
She seems like she belongs, though.
I
Huh?
put my arm around her. Yeah, she belongs everywhere. She blends in.
Well, if you're just looking to experience the arts, I would say go with a floor seat. If you're hungry, go to the getting a table. But if you have some coin to just toss aside, I would definitely suggest getting a balcony.
How much is a balcony?
A balcony is 2 gold per person.
Done.
Okay.
If we're going to experience Matul, we may as well do it right. And I will pull 12 gold from my pouch and pay.
Okay.
I do pay you, right? I apologize if that's
Yes,
rude.
you
Okay.
pay me, and then when it's inside, as the staff does their duties, you are more than welcome to leave some coin on the table for them.
So thank you so much. I appreciate your help today.
Of course.
Pyre's gonna be like, why couldn't we be on
Enjoy
the
your stay,
floor or
Whitborn.
table?
Thank you. We're going to be
Is-
fancy for 5 minutes. It's not going to kill you.
It might.
I promise you won't die from it.
Kind of fun.
Okay. All of you head inside. As you head inside, you immediately... Oh, go ahead.
I mean,
As Tam is having that conversation with Pyre and Thalia, Isa hands the note to Snow that he wrote in the library.
and as like we're talking, Pyre's like, hey, listen, I might have this new fancy gold chain around my waist and stuff like that, but that doesn't mean I'm fancy, okay?
I never said you were fancy, but let me appreciate you saving my arm today.
Could've done
Just
that
enjoy.
on the floor. Right. It's all right,
We'll
let's
see.
go.
We
Yeah,
will
that's
do it at a
cool.
balcony, which will still have a table where we can eat and drink, and we'll have a nice view. Besides, being above everybody means you don't have to watch your back as much. You can relax for 5 minutes.
Pyre kind of looks at him as he says that, kind of like eyes him, like, what did you just say? But she doesn't,
Bishop.
and she just walks.
Okay.
Just see what it says, like, exactly on the note, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah. It was what I sent you the other day.
Okay, that's what I figured.
As all of you head inside, you are greeted with a rather spacious and large kind of foyer opening area. You can see there seems to be a couple stalls set up inside where someone can grab kind of foods that you just whole, like dried meats, dried fruits, things like that. Cups of water, some wine, some ale. Beyond that, it begins to separate to the far left and right. You can see at least to be a set of stairs, and then slowly moving inward from that, you can see another set of double doors on each side, and then there is a wall that is just kind of there. And on that wall is just this absolute odd, majestic, but macabre kind of display of who knows how old posters. Some of them large, easily like 5 feet by 3 feet. Some smaller, as small, simple piece of parchment you would see like a bounty written on. Just various things tacked, plastered, affixed in some manner to the wall.
Pyre's gonna go up and look at them because she sees the ones that kind of look like bounty. It's like, oh god, I hope mine's not here. I haven't committed a crime yet.
Make a perception
Think
check.
you're safe. There is no yet. You're okay.
$19. As you look them over them, they're not bounties. They're definitely old play cards, older kind of posters that have been laid out throughout the city for certain acts or certain musicians. You don't recognize any of the names, but definitely a lot is here. A lot of history is upon this area. You can tell that Matul is well established. Like, you know, Raitul is an older capital. You know it's been around for a while,
Yeah.
but Raitul doesn't really project that ancientness to it. It definitely seems to be a little bit more trying to keep up year by year. Here, this seems to be some kind of homage to the length this building has stood and the acts that have come through it.
Okay. I was just gonna kind of marvel at it a little bit and everything, and then
Tam, I forgot to mention, when you handed a coin over, you were handed this a coin in return, but it is hollowed out, and it seems to be made of platinum.
Ooh. All right. And I'm going to look for the way we're supposed to go. They did give us direction, right? When we paid?
They did not give you directions.
That would be way too easy.
There's got to be barmaids or bartenders walking around that we can ask.
Any kind of staff? Like they
Walking
were
around, there doesn't seem to be anybody just meandering. Everyone here seems to have a station, and they are at it, whether it be at a door, at a staircase, or at a point of sales for food or drink.
I'm going to walk up to one of the doormen.
Okay.
It's been quite a dream of mine to be able to play here one day. Is there an open area for me to play, or do I have to sign up?
Not today. There is openings on the kind of earlier mornings and later evenings in the middle of the week. Being upon the weekend as we are, most shows are booked strictly by professionals and vetted individuals. But not to discourage you from playing or projecting your talent, we do have open auditions. But again, mainly middle of the week and early mornings.
Perfect. And my associates and I are just trying to make sure that we don't miss the show. Would you be able to show us to where we're supposed to sit?
Of course. Did they give you your token?
Yes.
I saw put a hand out to Tam.
I will pass him the token.
And he takes it from you, and you watch as he places it in his palm. And then there's a quick wave of his fingers, and the token begins to ever slowly lift off of his palm and then float. And you see from the middle of it, these rays of light project upward in a cone, projecting what looks to be some kind of language. Quick seconds go by, it closes down, the coin floats back into his hand. Oh, of course, this is easy enough. And you see as he just kind of pockets it, you will head up, not these stairs, you'll need to go across the floor. Up those stairs, you will need to go to the 3rd floor. You are on the 4th balcony.
Fire comes back from the posters and she's like, if we have a balcony, are we only allowed to be there, or?
Well, I mean, you paid for it, but you're welcome to be in the standing area. Just don't bother the other guests in their own balconies. The balconies are privates with their own table, and you will be assigned a host.
Okay.
And that's where we can get food and drink as well.
Yes, of course. And you're welcome to get anything here you wish, but up there is where your main foods will be. Here is... And you see as he looks over all of you. Let's see what he gathers. Yeah, that's enough. Easily. I take it you're not from Matol.
You would be correct.
That is all right. He kind of leans in a little closer. I'm glad you're here. Honestly, it's good to see people traveling and coming to this great theater. I really enjoy it. And he kind of leans back. So yes, you are more than welcome to get any kind of food or snacks you see here. But for the main meals and the finer wines, they will be at your table when you order from your host.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Of course.
And I will start to walk towards
Sir, excuse me. And he kind of reaches towards you, Tam,
please,
and kind of
sorry.
grabs your sleeve a little bit.
Yes.
Just so you're aware, the purchase for inside was for a rather base food and drink. If you wish to have more, speak with your hostess about finer, expensive things.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Enjoy your stay here at the Odium.
Will do. Thank you. And I will start to walk that way.
Okay.
I'll drop him a gold as we walk away.
Oh, thank you.
Kind of like pull Pyre and Snow excitedly.
Okay.
I'll just follow.
You just follow.
What are we doing?
Don't worry, we'll see if they've got milk for you.
Maybe they have that jerky you like.
Maybe.
You know
Maybe.
he only likes it chunky. They're never gonna give it to him.
Yellow.
You know, I found if you wait long enough, it gets that way on its own.
All of you begin to head up the stairs, climbing to the second floor, the third floor. Coming upon it, you can see exactly as Tarkin can take on that traditional, like, ringed bit as it layers upward away from the main floor. You walk around and you can see you're placed where you would be, if you were standing on the stage looking out to the audience, you would be just to the right of that vision.
So we're on the
What?
left.
You're on the left, yes. You make it to what seems to be your assigned area. There is a door. Double doors, notably.
Through BBEG of D&D doors.
Not a lie.
Are they open or closed?
They are currently closed.
Yep.
This is the fourth balcony.
You're at the third floor.
Doors!
Fourth balcony.
Third
There's
floor,
like this kind
fourth
of
balcony.
ornate, kind of in the middle of the two doors where they meet, there's this ornate four, kind of in this flowing script, still in common, but a little more showy, for sure.
Pyre goes up and knocks. She knocks on the door.
There's
What are we doing
no
here?
response.
I will open
Still.
the doors.
The door's open.
How many seats?
What you can see for here is you can see what looks to be this kind of... There's not really a table in a usual shape. The table's actually built into the rim of the balcony so everyone can eat and watch at the
Bless you.
same time. And
So
there
it's
are
like we've got our personal bar.
Essentially, but there's no other side for someone to
Right.
stand and serve you.
Sure, but
But
at the
there's
same
about
time,
8
yeah,
seats.
so we can all... How many?
Like one of those
8?
corner
8.
booth tables at the
Yeah.
restaurants.
Mhm.
I will take the far left booth, or the far left seat.
Okay.
Pyre kind of like tilts a little bit, like looking over to see like people on the ground if she can see them.
As you tilt over, Pyre,
Oh God.
you see this elven male face come right up to you.
Oh,
Just
hey
quick.
there.
He goes, "Whoa, hi, oh gosh!"
Oh,
And
hi.
he kind of
Hi.
floats backwards, startled. "Whoa, gosh! Sorry, ma'am. Didn't
Sorry.
mean to
Sorry.
startle you."
Didn't mean to startle you either.
So that's how you serve from the other
And
side.
you can see he is dressed rather well. Full, kind of a, not appropriate for being outside, but in here, shaded and a bit cooler. Not a lot cooler as you've experienced before, but there is shade and there seems to be some kind of probably arcane wind or cooling effects in this building. But he is dressed well, kind of well-tailored clothing. This kind of a high-collared tunic, what looks to be this, like a jeweled tie almost. And he kind of, oh, so sorry. And he swoops back in a little closer once you kind of sit back. Yes, my name is Donald. He still seems pretty just flustered a bit from just wham, face to face with a fire chassis.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Fire obviously jumped back. It was like, I don't know if I want to go over there now. This is very weird.
Glad no one
climb
was
in on the booth
hurt.
and wait for Pyre to come sit down.
You might have
he
he
literally takes a moment to like half turn away from all of you and just kind of.
Yep. Pyre's like, yeah, if you would have hit my head, you probably wouldn't have woke up.
No, and it's a rather long fall.
Yeah.
Hearing that, Kelvin will come over and look over the edge to see how far down it goes.
You're on the 3rd floor. It's probably a solid 30 to 40 feet down.
That is pretty far.
Yes, and you're very big.
You're really small.
Pyre comes up.
How do you
It's
like
not
it?
a compliment.
Pyre comes up to Kelvin. It's like because he drinks his milk, and then she sits down.
Right. Anyways, I am the host assigned to your booth tonight. Again, my name is Donald. What will all you be starting with? Do you wish to just have the usual provided by your booth, or anything extra for your taste tonight?
What is usual and what is extra? We are visiting your fine city for the first time for most of us.
I see. For the usual, it complements a beginning meal of some dried fruits with a house wine. Still good, but again, it is the lowest tier available, so do not let that persuade you from having it. It is still delicious in its own right, but again, it is the lowest tier on our standards. That is begin with the appetizer. Moving on to the main meal, it is a mixture of meats with the of chicken or goat, cooked to as you see fit, along with complementing some of our local vegetables. And then for dessert, we have a bit of a chilled custard along with chocolate shavings upon it. Beyond from that, you can move on to the finer meats and the finer grades of the... I hear the abyssal chicken is quite delicious. Very hearty meal.
As a player, all that food sounds freaking amazing right now.
I
Just
know.
pointing
I
it out.
know.
I didn't make a menu, what do you mean?
How much to upgrade all of our food?
Well, do you wish to go to the silver tier, the gold tier, or the platinum tier?
Exactly. Just what is the pricing?
It increases by 2 gold, doubled over for each tier.
So 6 gold per person
Yes.
for platinum.
Yes.
We'll do that. And I will give him 4 platinum. And I will tell him to keep the rest.
Actually, I believe that would be 8 gold.
Gold.
Because it's doubled over.
Yes.
Okay, I would give him... Hold on. Okay, so 4 platinum's 40 gold. I'd give him another 20.
Okay.
So
Very well,
60
thank you.
gold total for a pretty nice tip there. I didn't say that to him. Just
See as
mental
he
math.
pockets it off to a side pouch. Very well. Seeing as I have been directly assigned to this booth, I will have your first round of drinks available here shortly.
Thank you so much.
Of course. You watch as he just literally just hovers off. Is anybody paying particular attention to him as he hovers off?
Yes.
I'm probably
Fire
very
is because
curious
you
about him.
almost hit him.
Okay, roll perception checks, please.
I guess I'm not paying that good of attention.
No, you are not, sir. Sorry.
Sorry, it's because I'm
You
sitting
are.
next to you.
Probably.
He's flashy.
Cathalia, what
I
you
almost hit
notice is that upon his boots there seems to be a set of little wings that just...
No.
He's got Icarus sandals.
I'm like, oh, that's cool.
No, they're boots. Well tailored. It just has
They're
this
like
pair of
Hermes
wings that
boots.
just...
Hermes boots.
And you can
nobody
hear them
Kratos
just ever
too.
so slightly.
Oh
I wonder if that
man,
gets annoying after a while.
I bet you
him,
tune
not
it
Brett.
out.
Like the refrigerator.
Just as he begins to move off, all of you can take a look around, stay with your perception checks. Along with the passage, you notice that the floor seats are beginning to fill in pretty well. It's only about 5 to 10 minutes before your host, Donald, comes back, and he has this 2 platters, one in each hand. He just... and he sets them down on essentially the bar top, and begins passing out these extremely ornately crafted wine glasses. They're all empty right now. He places one in front of each of you, and there are 3 bottles of wine with him, along with this incredible platter of what looks to be just immaculately carved and detailed dried fruits, cheeses, breads, things of that nature. You can notice that there's actually like toasting designs in the bread. There are small, intricate carvings within the cheese and the dried meats. For wine, will you be something lighter, something a little heftier, or something kind of in between for your first round?
Light for me.
Very well.
Yes.
And he takes... Okay. And he begins to pour out from this bottle
I don't
this
know.
what looks to be this golden translucent liquid.
Do you have anything not? I should have said something before. That not alcoholic?
Of course, we have various juices along with some... I hate to just suggest water to someone who paid so well, so... we do have some well-flavored... It is water, but it has been flavored with various nectars from around the region.
That sounds good.
Very well.
I will also take one of those.
Will you be wanting a drink as well, or just that?
I'll stick with the wine.
I
thank
will
you.
just have the water.
Okay. He pours the drinks for each of you as you have requested. And then he looks to Isa and Kelvin. I will be right back with yours.
Thank you.
And he
Thanks.
flutters off.
I will sip on the wine a little bit.
It is crisp, just cooler than room temperature. It's just this right temperature, and it is light, fragrant, doesn't sit too heavy on the tongue. You can see it would definitely pair well with the platter provided.
Fire's just staring at the glass. Just staring at it. Just like,
Strong Pyre.
I'm afraid to touch it.
Why?
What if I break it?
I don't think it's gonna bite you.
No, but
You
what if
don't
I
think
break
you'll
it?
break it?
Says the woman as she drinks out of her wine glass.
Right? I know, I think that wine might be better than what I have.
Pyre just goes to grab it, just not even refined or anything, just like holding it like she would, like a flagon and everything. She's just like, I did it, guys.
You got
Yeah, and
this.
she drinks it.
It's delicious.
I'm so proud of you.
I like this wine. I hate this cup. Because she probably just drank it all in one gulp.
Oh yeah,
Not even like
I could
sipping
totally
it.
see that.
Yeah, just like pound it back. It's like, I need more.
Another
the bottle?
smash.
So,
The
yeah,
bottle was left behind.
I am way
I
too
will
slow for
pick up the
secrets.
bottle and
No,
pour.
no, Pyre grabs the bottle and just drinks from the bottle. It's like, there.
Okay.
That's better. That's better.
Okay.
That makes
Uh,
sense.
A few minutes go
That
by, and your host returns. with two, just holding two kind of normal glasses, still ornately made, but larger for more liquid capacity. And he sets one down in front of Isa, sets one down in front of Kelvin. They are both what looks to be mostly water, but you can tell there seems to be a bit of a... Let me think here. How best to describe this? Kind of this purplish swirl within it, and you can see it was freshly stirred, as you can still see it is kind of swirling around within it. It's been properly, absorbed into the liquid, but you can still see where it looks to be this strange purple sparkle liquid swirling within the glass.
Did you just give us grape Kool-Aid?
Did you
Mixed, motherfucker.
Kelvin
He
is
just-
staring at his Kool-Aid.
He
It
just sets
is
it down.
Mio.
There you go.
It is a water additive that he.
Nah, I want one of them kid
Sorry.
squeezy Kool-Aid ones that you have to use the top and you have to twist
Okay,
it.
I'm sorry. It's
Oh
not.
my
It's not
God.
Kool-Aid. We got
It's not.
Flavor-Aid.
Yes.
Flavor Aid.
Oh my
On
God.
those.
Yes.
Oh man.
He sets it down and says, "There you go. I hope you will find these enjoyable. If not, let me know. I can tailor a drink to your whatever you would like."
As he looks up, Kelvin's is half gone. This is delicious.
Fires in the
Kelvin.
background just with a wine bottle.
You should roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Me?
Yes.
Awesome.
You got poison.
He said wisdom,
God.
not con.
It
Yeah.
could be mind poison. You have no
I guess
mind
I'm
idea.
about to be the
poison.
one who gets poisoned.
I was
15?
like, this ain't Jonestown, okay?
Could I get mind poisoned?
I will not speak on the experiences of Kelvin, but I will say as you drink this, it brings back a familiar, loving memory of whatever favored drink you had when you were younger.
Yeah, it's really good.
I have one more request for a drink.
Yes, what would that be?
Whatever your thickest, deepest, richest stout is.
Stout. Okay, I can do that.
Thank you. And warm it, please.
Room temperature or how about
Hot.
hot? I'll bring you two in a smaller glass, I think. And you can see there's a wheels turning in his head. We've done a lot of requests for those, but maybe I've had that room temperature. I have a few ideas. I'll bring you just a few glasses, smaller ones to test.
Perfect.
And he looks across the table. Is everybody else good?
Yes, thank you, Donald.
Of course.
You guys gonna have a little sound bite of that fluttering.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will make that Brandon's text tone if I have it.
I'm just glad I can get it to catch on the
How-
microphone.
How good am I at sleight of hand? Can I steal his shoes?
He will
Please
fall
don't.
to his death.
To his death, can we not?
Sir,
Can we not
chaotic,
have one meal
chaotic
without
veg.
someone dying?
Yes, chaotic pig, this is true.
In the time you're waiting for Donald to return, you can see that the floor area has filled up, and I'd say everyone's probably keeping a decent eye around. You notice that a large majority of the balconies have been occupied by other individuals. And as what seems to be these light sources throughout the theater begin to dim. And you
Are
begin to-
we able to see who's in the other balconies?
Make a perception check.
Why you do this to me?
You asked.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
20 total. You can make
Yeah.
out who's the closest one to you is probably about 20 feet away. There's some good distance between them. And they're... How to word this properly? The closest that you'd be able to hear from. There are some closer, but they are floor up and floor down. So pretty much it's well staggered to where you can have your own talking and enjoyment area to where your conversations won't be overheard unless you get loud and boisterous. But as you can't tell who is above you, but looking kind of to your left and to your right, looking below you, you can see there seems to be just which you would gather to be usual noble denizens of Matol. Nobody really seems to stand out too well to you, but I'll say with a 20, you do notice there seems to be at least 2 of them occupied by, let's see here, which house would this be here tonight? This would be House Farlana. No, I'm sorry. Wrong one. Got it mixed up. House Roveler.
What colors would they be wearing?
Predominantly blue.
Okay.
As these light sources begin to dim down, you can still see close to you. You can still see your own place, your own foods, but anything beyond too far, your dark vision doesn't really kick in, but it's becoming that kind of weird hazy area to where it's like there's some color, there's some black and white.
More than likely, as it gets dark, Pyre's gonna remember the library and grab an axe. Like, oh my god, what's going on? Just like automatically like drop the wine bottle and be like,
relax.
Down.
It's getting dark.
It's okay.
It's not a sudden darkness. It's a gradual darkness. You're okay. We're okay.
You begin to hear this music begin to slowly grow over the theater. Mostly percussions and a bit of the deeper brass tones. Just and it begins to crescendo. And then there seems to be this singular beam of light just boom, right down to the center stage as you see this tall, thin individual just stand up. Welcome! And he has this long, thick, purple mane of hair all the way down to his lower body, probably down to his thighs. Dressed bold, bright colors, purples and yellows. From what you can tell at this point, human? Sure. Welcome, everyone. I, Joseph, welcome you to the Odium of Tears as your resident Tier Master. Please welcome tonight's lines and shows of guests. Be thrilled by arcane mysteries, blown away by stories of far-off adventures, brought to tears of love broken and lost. Sit back, please enjoy your times. Your meals should be served soon, and with it, the shows will begin. And the light fades, and around all of you, the mostly ambient light kicks back up a little bit, but not back to full intensity. With that, you can see it looks to be just this weird coordination of other hosts and hostess just floating about to their assigned balconies with trays and platters, and some of them, 2 of them, side by side, holding a larger kind of this table that seems to actually affix onto the edge of the balcony. One such comes to your balcony. As you can see that Donald has been joined by another, both of them holding this similar, almost semicircle shaped wooden tray essentially. And they kind of come up, you can see as they're looking over it, and they kind of, and it just hooks right onto it. And then the other one begins to kind of float back a little bit as Donald comes center again. Okay. For you, good sir. And he immediately looks to Isa and sets out this smaller, kind of almost tea platter. But instead of having a single cup on it, there are 3 separate, smaller porcelain shot glasses, essentially. One of them seems to be just protruding this absolute steam upon it, still boiling. Now the other two are warmed, but not as hot, and he sets them down over there. I hope you enjoyed these. I talked with our brewmaster. Oddly enough, he was rather excited for such a request. Not something we get a lot around here, being as where we are.
I understand. I thank you, and I will definitely let you know what is chosen above all else.
Of course. And then he begins to kind of pass out various plates to each of you of what, from what you can tell, is the single most delicious looking and smelling food any of you have probably ever seen. All manner of what looks to be steamed vegetables, cooked meats, various other probably like riced up or mashed heartier vegetables. New glasses are brought out, a bit larger to complement the meal itself, as more wine bottles are placed out. Isa, which one do you try first?
Ice is actually going to take the tray and go over to Snow and Pyre and place the boiling one in front of Pyre, and then the lighter of the other two in front of Snow.
Okay. So I'll say that in terms of color, the one that is boiling is the darkest. There's a medium tone and then a much lighter kind of a blonde tone, almost like a sand color.
Never mind. Ice will keep the sand color one, give the other one to Snow, and give the 24-hour gas station boiling sludge to Pyre.
Okay.
Wow.
With this, you can see Donald kind of motions to the individual that helped them, and they have offloaded all the food in front of you. They take the large, essentially tray trough and unhook it, and as they go away, Donald just looks over the group like with that. He doesn't say anything, but it's like that look like anything else.
Do you have ice?
You're gonna ask for it warmed up and then ice it down?
It's for my water.
Oh.
I will bring you more cooler water.
Thank you.
And he hovers off.
I'm gonna get food. And
Yeah,
pour
right?
another glass
All
of
this food
wine.
in front of us.
Yeah, I'm gonna start eating. And
Okay.
I'm going to pour another glass of wine.
You notice that the bottles brought to you are all of a deep red liquid.
Oh, yeah, we getting into the good stuff. Full-bodied, aromatic, notes of oak, cherry. Perfect.
I don't know who's having more fun, Tam or Joe.
I will say you do notice that it doesn't. This full body flavor lacks any of the usual earthen tones you're used to. Instead, it is a much sharper and harsher taste. Not to say bad, but it's definitely much more forward protruding upon your taste buds.
This is tequila wine.
Snow just picks up that little cup that Isa gave to her, gives it a sniff, trying to figure out what it is.
Make a nature check.
Cheers to both of you. And Ice will just down his.
Okay. 20. Fantastic. So, as you sniff on this, the first thing comes to mind is, wait a minute, isn't this supposed to be aged in, like, barrels? There's not a lot of wood around here. How do they age it?
Shit, they age it in a cactus.
And then you begin to realize that they're either using what's available to them around them, which is stone or local vegetation.
That's right.
Do
She
it.
kind of just, yeah, she ponders it for a little while, like trying to decide if it's worth it or not, and then she'll just take it and down the whole thing.
Okay. You throw it back, and it is unlike any drink you've had before. It is deliciously harsh and potent. It does not go down smooth. But
Mm-hmm.
there's an odd, great quality to its harshness. Not sure what it is, but just something about it.
Why does mine look like this?
Yours is just now beginning to no longer boil. Still steaming.
Why is mine boiling?
It's a delicacy. Give it a try. If you don't like it at temperature, I'd be happy to cool it down for you.
Fire takes it. Just downs it.
Okay. As you throw this drink back, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
12. Well, you keep it down,
Mm-hmm.
but I can best describe this as what happens if you heated like Cairo syrup or molasses as far as consistency.
Yeah.
It is thick. 2 C's. Even hot, it's still thick. It clings to your tongue, back your mouth, all the way down to your stomach. It just holds on for dear life.
That's terrifying.
That
Burns.
doesn't sound pleasant
It's
at all.
hot. But about halfway through, it becomes incredibly sweet and delicious.
Fire sets the cup down. Goes and sits down. Just kind of in the corner.
All right.
Wait,
Few
which
moments of-
corner?
Hmm?
Which corner are you sitting in?
Just where there's a seat, because
Oh,
Fire's just kind of wanting to do something.
okay.
But she don't know if she could do it there.
There's people around.
Yeah.
After just a few moments of enjoying
She doesn't
your
know how they feel about weapons there.
You do notice no one asked for your weapons. No one got told they had to leave them behind. Food for thought.
Might want to wait till in the room for what I want to do. Never mind.
Okay. As
Damn.
you all begin to enjoy your meals, the lights again begin to dim down a bit. And then a voice, not booming, but pretty much omnipresent amongst the theater, begins to speak. Ladies and gentlemen, elves and dwarves, tieflings and genasi of all ages, bear witness to the arcane mysteries and might of the Thunder Delver family. And with that, the curtain begins to open, and upon the stage, you can see what looks to be this array of individuals, most of them dwarven in nature. One of them is clad in full plate armor with this large kite shield. And he begins to step forward. Theater, bear witness to the strength and might of the Thunder Delvers, as I will subjugate my body and self to arcane effects to your delight and remain standing through all of it. And he kind of takes this helmet and puts it on. As he goes to one side of the stage. And then you can look to see to be this kind of still stocky for a dwarf, but definitely smaller in stature. Everyone, please mind your ears. And she'll turn towards the individual, and you watch as her hand comes up as this kind of tendrils of lightning begin to apparate about 5 feet away from her out of nowhere and begin to center on her hand as she brings it up. And she thrusts her hand outward, and there's this large, just cacophonous sound of thunder across the entire thing. You hear people go, ah! On the floor stage, you see some drinks get spilled. All of you being adventurers, you're probably just not taken aback by this.
Fire's like, I just heard that in my ear not too long ago, so I'm fine.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know.
Yeah, thunderbolt.
We can watch as this lightning strike arcs across the stage, hitting various pieces of the platform before striking this plated in metal dwarven individual. He kind of puts his shield in front of him and hunkers down. You can see as he's blasted back 2 or 3 feet, his heels dig in. There's a moment of silence as the energy dies down. The crowd, you can see some of them kind of looking around, and then you can just see him kind of raise his shield, and the crowd, yeah! Kind of takes his helmet, kind of lifts up the visor a bit, kind of nodding his head, yeah, yeah, yeah. And he clunk puts it back down. You see the two of them begin to close in on each other. And you can see another individual off to the side kind of steps, not quite center stage, but forward enough to be noticed, and kind of takes a wand and his voice begins to project outward to the entire theater. Not too booming, not oppressive, but heard. Bear witness now, as the arcane methods are used once again. You will notice that she will vanish without a trace, leaving behind nothing but destruction in her wake. Can her brother withstand such mights? Hold on to your drinks. And you can see some people actually kind of looking with intent as the male dwarf.
Fire's like holding her bottle, like, somebody coming to take drinks? It's my bottle.
As the male dwarf, again, kind of, you see him hunker down. Female dwarf turns and looks at the individual. She kind of nods her head once. You can see his helmet go. And she begins to mutter these arcane words, her hands before she, I would say, everyone give me a perception check.
That was a journey. Holy crap.
Wow.
Fire's just seeing everything today.
Oh, wow.
Snow, you've seen magic before, but for some reason, just the way they're able to present it and perform it, you are just enthralled. You are tunnel vision on these two individials. You're like,
What's
I
the
know
beer?
magic. I've casted magic, but this is really awesome. Tam,
It's like
Pyre,
a
natural
Cat
20.
following a laser.
Yeah.
Where'd the lightning
That's
strike go?
now what
Where's
it
the
is.
lightning.
Yep.
Isa, you're also pretty involved in this. You're paying attention to the act. You're enjoying it for what it is. But Kelvin, you're able to kind of notice some of the direction of this spell. You can see as the individual finishes their arcane cast, you can watch as their hand kind of points to the other side of the stage. And Pyre and Tam, you're just like, why did they point like that? That doesn't make any sense. And then there is another loud, thunderous boom echoing throughout the entirety of the theater as this cube of force is pushed outward from the female dwarf, and she is gone from sight. Let's see if the male dwarf can keep his feet. No, he cannot. As this boom of thunderous energy goes off, the dwarf is knocked ass over tea kettle. Sorry, the description was getting
Over
me.
keto.
Yeah, he's on the keto diet. He's really trying to slim down, trying to break away from the mold of the dwarven fat belly. No, this dwarf is knocked ass over tea kettle. His shield goes flying. The helmet goes flying. He flops once, twice, third time's the charm. Lands face down with just a metal on wood thud, unmoving. And you see a couple people in their seats kind of go, just kind of stand up. Some people are taken aback. You can see the individual at the corner there kind of looks over. There's a pause. And then all of a sudden, you just see one of the fists of the plated individual just go. And again, the crowd, yeah, as they are just into it.
I will clap as I take another sip of wine.
And then as the dwarf kind of gets up, collects himself, he kind of grabs his helmet. See him kind of look at it. Well, glad I was wearing that, huh, everybody? And he kind of puts it back on, making a show out of it. They're all kind of laughing and clapping. Everybody in the crowd seems well won over. Let's see how well. Oh, that's pretty good.
For losers.
He picks up his shield, and you can see off to the side the female individual comes back out, kind of in this show, kind of, here I am. There's a round of applause.
She launched herself across the stage.
She sure did. And I will say, just for the sake of reveille here, roll one more performance check for them. Seems unfortunately the next act does not go that well, as through the arcane methods displayed, the male dwarf is actually knocked unconscious. You can kind of see some people rushing up quickly. Some of the people in the stands.
Like, oh shit! She's like clapping.
Yeah, he's out. You can see rapidly what looks to be a cleric running up.
She's used to the Iron Coliseum.
Spells.
It's
oh yeah.
People are really happy whenever they get knocked out. So,
yeah, I could totally see that.
At least this is why it's good that we're all on a balcony.
Yeah.
I was like, it took him 3 rounds, and she finally knocked his ass out. Yeah, there we go.
I don't think that was the goal there, darling.
And what's the goal?
A show. She's throwing for him to catch, not to knock him out. But as long as you're happy. As long as you're happy. And he's not dead.
I know he's not dead. In the Iron Coliseum, they don't let you die. How do you think I got this?
As you all are having this conversation, you can notice that they're beginning to get the stage cleaned up from the act. The curtains begin to draw, and they stay just about a foot apart. As you can see, the main individual who had introduced himself earlier comes back out. Well, that was certainly a blitz of a show, wasn't it, everybody? It's okay. He's just fine. We will move on to the next act. We hope you enjoyed it.
I told you.
Be prepared to be wooed by the arts of divine lute playing, flute playing, the arts of the bards. Enjoy your meals, and we'll be with the next show shortly. And this individual steps behind the curtains, and they close. And I need to check something real quick. Yes, so we are going to move to our break at that point.
Violence hurts.
You're like, oh. Yeah,
Cat.
we're gonna go on
That's
to our
too
break,
damn
everybody.
bad.
We hope you've enjoyed the first half of this fantastic episode, and I look forward to seeing what shenanigans they move into after the break. So stick around. We'll be back in about 10-ish minutes, and we'll see you in a bit. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for hanging out during our break. I let my players for temporarily be released from the desk I keep them chained to play D&D.
Appreciate it, boss.
So before we took our break, our party was enjoying an odd afternoon of leisure and time within the Circle of Oasis, finding themselves upon the Odium of Tears. Unless there is any role-playing the rest of you wish to do for the rest of this, I will simply roll a couple dice, explain a few quick scenarios, and we will move on to the rest of your days.
Are we going to talk about what happened? Or are we just going to pretend like it was a normal occurrence and we'll talk about it later?
We should probably talk about it when we're not surrounded by people. Because even when you think you have privacy in public, yeah, but all it takes is one of those servers floating just out of eyesight, but not out of earshot. We can discuss tonight.
People think this is fun, watching people do this.
It can be. It can be even
Seen
more
weirder
fun when
things
you're
that
on
people
stage.
Consider fun.
Trust me, I've been on stage. It's not always fun.
While they're having this conversation, Kelvin is on the edge of his seat with his hands on the banister, looking over.
Kelvin, don't.
No, not over the railing, but like at the stage, all these people doing stuff. This is awesome.
Sometimes whenever you're on stage, you're just getting used.
Well, that sounds like trauma we're going to need to unpack later with more wine.
As your
Don't worry about it.
conversations begin to carry, the curtains open, and a few light sources that seem to be able to direct themselves to the stage show upon what looks to be now a setting of a small orchestra, probably about 10 to 15 individuals, varying races, varying genders. There is a singular person standing in the center of all of it. They're in a bit of a semicircle arrangement. He kind of turns to the crowd. Good evening, good afternoon, good day to all of you. My name is Conductor Mournhell. I protect you, Mournhell's Orchestra. Please, let your wearies be lifted, your spirits raised, your ears caressed, and your minds relaxed. And he turns and he pulls out what looks to be this conductor's wand and begins to conduct the orchestra, starting low, very simple light tones of wind elements and stringed instruments. Very nice light tone, something to complement a meal. And then over the course of the next probably 20 to 30 to 35 minutes, you can tell this is definitely the main act of the afternoon. They take short breaks here and there to transition the song style, but in general, the course of the meal and the event is accompanied by some lovely music amongst this orchestra, or half orchestra. Once it concludes, they all stand. The conductor turns, take a bow. They all take a bow. There are claps, there are cheers as the curtains are drawn.
Fire stands up. It's like, now that's a show. She's clapping and everything.
And it was well done. They rolled rather high on that one there, so it was moving.
clapping as well and continue to sip on wine. Not enough.
Just got
to,
our bottle.
And then for the last act, it is what looks to be, you can see as the curtains open again, you begin seeing these ropes lower from out of sight above the curtains. Just varying ropes, varying heights, lengths. And then as you see two individuals come out, kind of dressed in essentially a onesie leotard. And they come up and with a kind of stand waving over the crowd. We are the Drake Wings, here to dazzle you with feats of our bodies and our skills. And as one of them kind of grabs a rope and begins to very deftly, hand over hand, not using their feet, climb right up without issue.
Fire's like this at it, like she jumped up, like, oh man.
Another one begins to do the same thing. I need, let's see here. Snow, Cathalia, and Isa to make perception checks. Pyre, you too, as you probably are paying close attention to this act as well.
Kelvin, because he was leaning over and staring.
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
Okay, I was just looking at his wine glass, like, oh.
Now I'm looking at all of you, and I'm looking out across the theater and just kind of enjoying the quiet for a moment. And the, the shade.
Tam needs his quiet.
Oh my God, he's the dad. Even more so.
I would say.
I mean, honestly, he's probably waiting for the attack to start.
Only for Cathalia and Snow do you notice that as the second individual begins to climb up, you can see their right hand as it goes up begin to wave in an arcane fashion. And then it reaches up. And they begin climbing in the same manner, hand over hand, not using their feet. And you watch as these two individuals begin to perform rather well, just swinging from rope to rope, making long strides between the two of them as they begin to swing back and forth, kind of clasping each other before they swing to another one. They get very close on one of them, almost the one's head as he's held by his feet. The other one wraps his legs around the rope and dangles upside down. The head just barely skims right over the stage surface, just and fast. It's a couple of across the crowd. And then as they end this, you notice as each of them kind of grab with one hand the rope, and then they place their feet on the rope. And what you notice, the two of you, is their feet do not move when they plant them on the rope. And they hold themselves there, kind of gesturing over the crowd and smiling, taking in the applause before they let themselves down. And as they do, they take a bow, and the ropes begin to get lifted back up.
Are they wearing any gloves or special slippers or boots or anything like that?
From what you can tell, they seem to be bare feet, barehanded.
They have bare feet and bare hands?
Yes.
No wonder they're so strong.
Then the curtains close. The lights come back to that brighter intensity as you see the floating hosts and hostesses begin to come up, and Donald comes up, starts just quietly collecting unused plates and glasses.
In her mind, Snow's going, that was pretty cool, but I bet I could do that.
Man, I could just start making a living here. Bet I could make a lot of gold in this place.
Between wild shape and performance checks, we'd be set for life.
You think so, but not always.
They'll just
Not
have Pyre
always.
bench press Cinder.
Pyre's lived that life before. She ain't doing it again.
I'm not going back. I'm not going back, I
No.
tell you.
No. I will not go back to those barns. Leave me alone.
Question mechanically.
Feel free to ask.
Has there been enough time to take a short rest?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome.
All of you may take a short rest.
Thank you so much.
I get a spell slot back.
I get my radiance back.
I will say, Isa, your internal clock is beginning to get that little worriness to it.
Yep. I was actually just about to ask you what time it was.
You're like, shit, are we going to be late? Are we late? How long is, what time? How long should I have been there by now?
The fuck was his name? I wrote his name down.
Compassion.
Donald, do you happen to know what time it is?
Well, this is ended. It's probably about 3, 4, about 3:30.
And where we're going to, that's still in the inner circle, right?
It is.
Okay. Donald, would you happen to know where the candle of the lightning is?
Kind of lightning. It's well, it's on. Well, it's not close. It's not on the other
I
end of
think
the
it's what
circle.
struck that dwarf.
You see Donald try and stifle a laugh, and he just apologies. It is not close. You would need to head out of here and make your way a bit westward. The natural, of course, the ring itself will curve away from that direction, but head to the west to begin with, and I don't know, 20, 25 minutes of a walk? Maybe 20, 15 if you rush. You would be there.
I appreciate the information.
Of course.
What day of the week is it? That's a DM question for the...
You would know that this is one of the weekend days.
Okay.
I don't have the calendar I want to use directly in front of me because that's off of the 10 day. I will get those to you. But for sake of this, you'd say it's the equivalent of like a Friday or a Saturday. Somewhere around there.
It's Nines Day.
I would say maybe it's time that we pack up and begin to make our way to our most gracious host's meeting place.
Agreed.
Okay.
All right. All of you head out, following the directions given to you. Donald had no reason to lie to you or to mislead you. What pace are you moving through the city?
You'd set the pace there, boss.
We'll move at just a casual walk.
Okay. After about 20, 25 minutes of walking, you come across what looks to be this, in comparison to the other buildings around it, small, but it is kind of a I would say larger based upon floor space, not quite height. You come across, it looks to be, actually, I misdescribed that. You come across a familiar style of building, about 4 or 5 stories tall. But what's interesting about this is that there are various signs in front of the large double doors. They're actually kind of layered. About 3 different signs. The lowest sign reading the Candle of Lightning.
Who are we meeting here again?
A friend of Pyre's.
Compassion.
That's right.
All of you head inside.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Natalia,
Yeah.
how long do you think it would take to make contact with your friend Jude?
Sure.
I do believe you know where he's staying.
Yeah, I think it was the Merchant's Rest.
The Merchant's Respite.
Respite, yeah.
After
Nice
this,
when somebody stays in one place and doesn't move around tavern to tavern every night.
We haven't moved places since we've been here. Just rooms.
it might be a good time to reach out to him after this meeting. Then I'll follow Pyre in.
Okay. As you all head into the building, everyone give me perception checks to see what is discerned. Damn. Kelvin with a
Damn.
natural
Rolled a
20
nat
for a
20.
24. Tamriel with natural 20 for a 24. Snow with a
That would've
9.
been a
Pyre
20.
with the 9. Cathalia with a
Yes!
13. Isa with the 6.
I say
It
you
was
let
a-
us down,
What
bro.
a
Did it.
spread.
Keeping it
I
in the
said
single
did it.
digit.
Did it.
That would have
The
been a 20
boys were
that
supposed to
forward with
carry
two.
this one.
Nah, bro, I'm
So-
all about them single digits tonight. Have you not been watching my rolls?
Snow.
I have.
Damn, it's too close.
Snow, Pyre, Cathalia, and Isa, you get your own. You are too busy looking directly for compassion. Pyre and Snow, same story, but you have an eye for making sure other things are okay. What you notice is that this is definitely you are in the Circle of Oasis. This is a well-decorated, well-staffed, just elaborate tavern. Everything is made meticulously and clean, nice. Smells nice in here. The staff, you can see who they are. They are all extremely well dressed. For Cathalia, you notice all of that, and along with, you can see there are various, what looks to be floating hooded lanterns about 10 feet up that provide light in areas that don't have quite the natural light required.
Okay.
For Tamriel and Kelvin, matching natural 20s for a 24, you immediately notice off in a, not quite a corner booth, but off in a off-centered table, you can see a rather large, extremely well-dressed Goliath who is very familiar to you. You also notice the floor here is clean. The tables are clean, but occupied. Everyone is dressed moderately or above. enjoying drinks out of what looks to be well-crafted mugs or flagons. It's just a very nice place. What you also notice is that all of the staff seem to have this kind of white towel hanging out of their back pockets. And you watch as one of them walks over to a table, tosses the towel down, and the towel begins to go to work on its own, moving and cleaning as
All have magic towels.
as the two free hands of the person cleaning the table picks up the glasses, the plates, gets them out of the way, and the cloth just goes about cleaning the table.
I'm gonna get me one of these towels.
These towels are magic, man.
While we're all looking, Ice is gonna go up to Pyre and put his hand on her shoulder. Let's not fight tonight.
I had no plans to.
Good.
Okay. What do you guys do?
Was Tam or Kelvin gonna be like, "Hey, Compassion's over there" or
Yeah.
anything like that? Or are we
I
just
don't
gonna
know. That is
I'm-
entirely
I'm
up to
gonna-
them. I
yeah,
give them the
so-
information, and they're just sitting there staring at
I
it.
am going
Yeah.
I just kind of
No,
look
I'm
like
gonna go ahead
Pyre and
and
Isa
point.
because this is like their
Alright.
thing.
So Kelvin is actually going to cast message to Pyre,
Okay.
and just in her head, she's going to hear. If you want me to kill him, say the word.
What the hell was that? She's also Pyre because she's never done that before. It's like,
Oh yeah.
You've never experienced this. So, Pyres, you're in this tavern, very nice tavern, looking around. A very familiar voice just creeps into your ear, and your ear only. If you want me to kill him, just let me know.
and Pyre looks around like, Kelvin's over there.
He's at least
but
5-10 feet away from you.
Just staring in a singular direction.
Do I notice what he's doing?
With a 13, no.
No.
the hell was that? Because this is more than likely after Isa said no fighting, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Just all of a sudden,
Let's just go sit down with your friend.
Pyre goes over to the table and like sees Compassion and like holds her hand out. Hello, Compassion.
Hello, Miss Pyre. Thank you for coming to meet me. And he looks around. I said, have you changed back?
At this point, Ice will drop it.
Okay. In the middle of the tavern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody else is like, what the hell is that?
There
Him
do,
is like
do
that if you
seem
have
to
any
be a
subtlety.
few stairs as you see him just. Boom. And Compassion kind of looks.
Oh, hey, he's back.
Good to see you as well. Please, seat. And again, Pyre and Isa, which you notice for the first time, is Compassion is dressed extremely well. His clothing covering any tattoos that he would
Yeah.
have had exposed before.
Pyre sits down. Thank you, Compassion.
Of course. Would you like a
Are
drink?
you? Yes, please. Are you well rested? You feeling good?
Yes. Again, I am sorry.
No.
I'm not-
I'm fine. I
I'm glad
understand.
you are hardy.
Me
And he'll
too.
kind of-
standing there with his arms crossed.
If
kinda
you don't
like,
stop him, he will reach across the table and actually kind of like grab your bicep and like complimentingly like squeeze it like, I'm
Yeah.
glad you're hardy.
That's fine. Yeah, I am too.
You see as he looks to the table and just puts up one of his giant Goliath fingers. Just and without word, just not even 30 seconds later, just someone walks over, doesn't say anything to you, sets a full mug in front of you, Pyre, and walks away.
Good service here, Compassion, as she takes a drink.
Well, in my, not so clean days, I've done quite a few jobs and earned a lot of favors.
No. Say no more, I understand that. And she takes a huge drink.
He takes a drink of his. The in his hands, it looks like a baby cup almost. It's almost kind of funny. But he'll
I
look
like
to
the
Isa.
full-size mug looking like
I
a...
just
Yeah.
want to give Compassion a hug. That was so sweet.
He'll look to Isa after taking another drink. Well, again, didn't expect to see you back here so soon from your last exploit. But you've always had that cold silver tongue of yours. What brings you back and looking for me of all Goliaths in this city?
Just like any other time, I need your compassion.
Of course you do. What do you need, Isa? And don't use your tricks on me. Speak plainly.
Oh, he never does. I learned that quickly.
It would do you good to keep that lesson close.
I need help getting into the bottom of the tower.
Now, why on earth would you want to go there?
Something is going on with the energies of the world, basically, my friend. Something is manifesting creatures that should not be. There was an attack earlier, even on us, in the library.
I have
Unfortunately.
heard. Well, I misspeak. I heard there was some kind of arcane accident at the library.
Yes,
Was it
because
enveloped in a sphere? That is all that is known. And
The
you see
library
he
was
puts his elbow on the table and kind of Isa, what have you been doing in my city? All of you notice now that the tone of the supposed gentle giant instantly hardens into a well-spoken and postured person of reputable authority.
Fire automatically is like, he didn't do anything. This has happened to us once before Isa came around.
I may not be of arcane influence, but I do enjoy a good story. So please, tell me a story, Miss Pyre.
You know the Green Line.
I have seen it with my own eyes. Marvelous thing.
Have you seen the ritual
Did
that
you
they
know-
perform?
He starts
If
to
I'm about
talk.
to get pulled into an old man story again.
He starts to talk. Did you know?
Get out, Boomer and Goliath.
I hear that the entire thing was built by druids. Can you believe that?
Yes, as she points to Snow.
And he kind of looks.
We watched. She took place in the ritual not too long ago. And
You see his eyes kind of widen a little bit. So it is true. There is a ritual.
yes. And the magic that was being fed into it, something happened. Something perversed it. And that same circle happened. It trapped me and my friends inside the circle. Apparently, Isa was outside the circle. And we had to fight a crystal vine thing that just fell out of the wall. There was a huge hole. I don't know if they fixed it now, but, you know. We're not sure why or what or how exactly it happened, but it did. And now it seems to be happening here.
So you have seen this effect before that overtook the library?
Yes, but it was different. Before, the people outside the circle couldn't move. It's like they were locked in place. Here, it was like that, but lesser, in a sense. And I feel like if what happens in Greca happens again here, it might be worse. And I may not be of this place, but
And at this point, he will kind of turn and look to Isa. So I'm guessing you've heard at least tales of what lies beneath the spire.
The ones that I didn't make, yes.
Well, how can someone like me possibly help getting someone like you there?
Your new boss? I had the good fortune of seeing our old boss.
You can all watch as there's this stern growl, and as his brow furrows, his voice deepens even further to a Goliath. Just
Fire's like agreed as she takes a drink.
Now, friend. Frowning does not become a person of your stature now.
I suppose you're not wrong. But if you're here to speak to me because you need the Sandkeeper's favor, then things are beginning to make more sense. But I don't know how you're going to get this tale to them and to be believed. I don't even believe you. But I trust her. And he points to Pyre.
Have I ever lied to you before?
Yes.
In the last day?
I said just...
Yes, you were late today.
Pyre pats his arm. It's like...
Good point. So you know I'm honest then. I'm always exactly misrepresenting myself.
You're
so
honest
when I tell you,
for anything that belongs to you. And if somehow doing something will make you look better, you will do whatever it takes to complete it.
Pyre like looks to Compassion. It's like, God, listen, Compassion, I just met him recently and he gives me a bit of a headache sometimes. But I feel like he genuinely does care, especially about this. But if you can't believe that, believe me. I don't know what's going on, but I cannot let what could have happened in Greca happen here. We couldn't live with ourselves if something bad happened simply because we couldn't help out.
Pyre, I need you to make a persuasion check with advantage. 13.
Yeah,
kinda
didn't mean to hit it 3 times.
It's all right. He looks you over a bit. You know, it's funny. They say you can't trust somebody or know who they are until you fight them. We fought pretty hard last night. Very well. Give me a few days to attempt to arrange a meeting.
That's all we need.
Where are you staying?
Prince's Ale House.
We have to meet somewhere else.
Very well. 3 days. Right here.
I
Can
need
you
a
remember
day.
the correct time again?
She'll be here. I'll make sure of it, Compassion.
Very well. It seems
Thank you.
I have work to do. And he
Pyre's
takes his drink, throws the rest of it back, turns upside down, sets it down. You see as he does so, he sets a copper on top of it. Nods his head to the party.
As he starts to get up, Ice is going to go over, whisper in his ear, and tell him what the job is.
Which job?
The job from Vivian.
He kind of pauses
I'm
for a minute.
Telling you this for what we've had.
You see he kind of chuckles and he just kind of says real close to you. Interesting enough, you'll find none. Stay away from her.
A little hard.
I know you are. And he taps you just below the waist with his giant Goliath knuckles.
You son of a bitch.
Nut check with advantage.
And he gets up kind of chuckling and walks away.
That's a good one, Compassion. You have to teach me that next time.
I think you nut checked him yourself.
Ow.
I did.
Ow.
Ow. Ow.
Well, that's good. I
Soul
guess.
turned up higher. I think that meeting went well.
And Parker's gonna look at him, be like, "And you told me no fighting."
That was deserved. Skinned him once.
Yeah. Is there any place else we need to be, or?
As long as I get to watch you and learn, I'm right where I need to be.
That was sweeter than the custard earlier.
I need to do
You'll
it.
give
now.
diabetes to us all.
Isa. Pyre's gonna kind of like look at him. Just, can I talk to you about something later?
Oh, shit.
As long as you promise not to hit me in the nuts. Yes.
I promise not to hit you in the nuts.
Then we can talk.
Okay, thank you. As Pyre like slams her hand down and gets up, it's like, I guess go back to the inn. Where are we going? What's going on? Last time I picked a place, we ended up in combat. Okay, I ain't picking again.
Let's
Or
just
maybe
go
I
back.
should.
We'll go back and rest for the night, thanks. And discuss our next move and what happened today.
Before we leave, as one of the bus boys or whatever comes around,
Mm-hmm.
You
Can
were
I
not
ask them
seriously
for-
trying to steal a towel.
Can I ask them for one of the towels?
He looks at you just, no,
It's not-
please,
it's not
sir,
for
no,
me.
I will clean the table for you.
No. I have a friend who runs an establishment, and he has one, but he's not of any means. I wish to present him with a gift.
Look, sir, I'm sorry, but if we lose these, we pay for these.
I understand.
How much are they?
I need... Never mind. As all of you begin to get up and get ready to leave, Snow, as you begin to walk through this establishment, this strange smell begins to kind of fill your nostrils and your lungs. Something that wasn't here when you first walked in, but for some reason is rather present now. It is this scent of warm cinnamon. Something that dials back deep into your memories of growing up in the cold mountains of Bragos. The elder would usually make some kind of apple cinnamon tea, and for you, she'd put a little extra cinnamon in there for you. But it begins to almost overtake your senses.
Can I try and find out where, like, exactly it would be coming from?
Make a perception check.
Not bad.
14. As you're kind of smelling, looking around, it just, wherever you go, it's there. It's almost like it's being dangled right in front of your nostrils.
He wasn't tortured by the hag.
She's kind of just gonna take note of it, look around.
Oh god,
Can't
there's
find
druids.
the source of it, but it's still right there.
Mm-hmm.
The druids are back.
And as we keep walking, since she knows it's still there, she's just like trying to figure out what's going on.
What are you looking at or smelling or reacting to?
You don't smell it? It's cinnamon.
Do I smell it?
You do not.
When did you start smelling cinnamon?
As we left. You
Where's
really
it
don't
coming
smell
from?
that?
No,
It's, like,
and I'm gonna
right in
kind of
front
like
of-
look in her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Has this happened to you often?
Not often, no. But I mean, it's cinnamon. Cinnamon's everywhere.
Or cinnamon's everywhere. Has it hit you at odd times like this, where you wouldn't expect to smell it?
She kind of like backs away from Tam. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she's okay.
I hope so, and I will start walking.
Still just following that sentence.
It follows
Just
you
as
for
we
about
keep going.
10 minutes, and then it just dissipates.
Ears go flat. Disappointment.
Poor Snow.
As you all are heading back to your tavern, that's where we will cut off tonight's episode. Thank you all so much for joining us. I hope my table had fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got to be fancy tonight.
You did. You got to have a
Yep.
proper
Just wait till we
rest
have our
and
clothes.
Pyre
That's
did
right,
not
you
like
get to
being
pick those up.
fancy.
but
we
you
do.
got
We get to
have
pick those up tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow.
You do.
Yeah.
You get to pick those up next episode.
We about to look fancy.
Yes, you are.
Hey,
And speaking
Pyre looks
of
very
fancy, I'm gonna
with
go
her
get something
gold chain.
so I can finally show it to the stream. Mind me, I'm still in some of my gym clothes, so I do have on basketball shorts. Deal with it.
I will not deal with it. I will
Oh,
try
look
it.
at that. DM right there. That's a DM.
Bam.
Put this over here.
Did you see that viewer count shoot it up?
So what I will say, I'm going to brag on this table real quick. We had a get-together for 90% of the table. Unfortunately, some of us could not make it because just traveling distances, but it's okay. We still love you, those that didn't make it. But those that were local and close to my location here, we did have a player hater gaming get-together. During this get-together, we shared delicious food, very delicious drink, and some presents. I will not speak on all the presents and gifts given. I will only speak on one of them, and hopefully the background replacement doesn't mess this up too much. If it does, you can see this on the Discord, so here's a quick caveat to that, segue into that. Feel free to please come join our Discord. I just want to fill it with amazing people that love to talk about tabletop games, life in general, share memes, and just build a community of fun people who support each other through times thick and thin. So please come check us out. But what this table did for me is behind my back for 2 months with the artist I went to, they kept this secret from me.
It was so hard.
We had to keep checking in on Andy.
Where can I put this so it doesn't?
Hey,
Right there.
I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand with it. Nope.
Oh,
Nope.
Sit back
Nope.
down.
You ruined it.
Nope.
Nope.
Stay. Yep, right there.
Right
Don't
there.
move.
There it is. This is as close as it can get,
how
guys.
Snazzy we
But it's gonna go on my wall, and you will see a much better picture in the Discord.
Oh,
Huge
yeah.
shout out to my table for getting this, and larger shout out to our artist, Miss Jade. If you haven't checked her out, please do so. She does fantastic work. She's done all of our character artwork. She's done all of our emojis. She is amazing.
Now we're gonna have
But
to get
this
one
is
with
it right here.
Isa in his fancy clothes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh god, no! Pyre doesn't want to be in another fancy dress, so we'll
Too
just
late.
have to-
Maybe
Too
we
bad.
can do
No.
our Batol outfit.
Yeah.
Maybe you
My
could.
whole outfits. New DLC.
But-
It's new skins.
We're going to shut her down for the night. Thank you all so much for being here. I look forward to seeing all of you Friday as I get to sit in a player chair and I get to put in the DM spot Mr. Knight of Bishop for his campaign, The Temptation of Relvin. If you weren't paying attention, 90% of the party almost died on the second episode. So
It was
what I
insanely
heard.
awesome.
it's going to be insane. I mean, my character was okay. I'm not going to say what methods were used to keep it, and I will not allow anybody else to say otherwise. I'm going to talk louder and keep talking.
Yoshi.
If you want to know the reference to the term Yoshi for my character, you'll have to tune in and find out. You can catch it here, 6:30 Central Standard Time. Beyond that, we have our other scheduled streams. You can check out our schedule on our Twitch page. And that's all I've got. Please have a good night. Please remember to love each other, have fun, play games, be a kid. Don't be afraid to be a kid. And we will see you all next time. Have a good night.
Bye, guys.